structured loop called the for loop. All loops have an initialization, a guard, and an update. The indentation within a loop designates the body of the loop, and it is important. Count is our loop control variable. And the for loop, the beginning line of the for loop, has the initialization, the guard, and the update in one compact statement. So the loop starts by initializing count to 1. It continues to check the guard. Then remember, the guard is like a guard on a castle. You don't enter the castle until you can get past the guard. So as long as this is true, you can get past the guard. So if count is less than or equal to 5, the body of our loop is executed. The body of our loop here is put count and then putting a space. After that executes, then we do the update. So the process in which this particular loop executes is the same as others, but watch how it goes from, and we're actually going to go back and look at this in a slower manner, okay? What I want to do is step through this code. We see count is initialized to 1. As long as our guard condition is true, we're going to enter the loop. So notice how we jump into the body of the loop before we get to the update statement. Once the body of our loop is done, it jumps to the update statement. And now watch what it does next. It jumps back to our guard. It never goes all the way back to the initialization. And then it continues through the loop. Body of the loop, update, guard, body of the loop, update, guard, etc. until that condition has been met. Or I should say until that condition is false. Once that condition turns false, the body of our loop is not executed. Another thing that we can do here to increase the readability of our code and to reduce magic numbers is to also introduce a constant for our limit value. In this case, our limit was 5, and so I'm going to assign the limit to 5. And then in our code, I'm going to replace 5 with limit. This doesn't change anything in terms of how the code executes, but it does make the code more readable, and it makes it easier to make changes later on if we are needing to edit our code. That introduces you to the structure of the for loop. The for loop is often designated as a definite loop, and that's because we can predict before the loop executes how many times the loop is going to run. So when you can determine the number of executions before the code runs, you know the number of executions before running. That is called a definite loop. In this particular situation, we know that it's going to run 5 times because I start with 1 and I work my way up to the limit. And that's your introduction to the for loop.